Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan. Today we are doing another simple single stream. And again, I feel like every single stream I start off with, I'm saying something crazy happened, this, that, the other. And today is no different because we have dumped again. As you may see on the screen, if I refresh quickly, just make sure I'm on the up-to-date price. We're at 62,938. You can see over the 24-hour, 5.4% down. But it wasn't only just Bitcoin today. You know, unlike last stream where we looked at the reasons why Bitcoin fell and the comparison between other coins. Obviously, we saw Ethereum and Solana didn't fall. But obviously today we have fallen, and subsequently pretty much the entire market has fallen. Now, this is understandable. When we were doing the last stream, we were looking at the price of Bitcoin and the price of everything. You know, Bitcoin was kind of an outlier for that stream. We're like, what's going on? And that was more so for a Bitcoin space thing. But today we're going to be going over some of the higher time frames on Bitcoin, because I do want to show something I have sent in the OG chat previously, which kind of explains the longer term movement of Bitcoin. Obviously, I think I did look at it a tiny bit, stream before last, but I do want to update you guys on that as well, because it is something important to know about, because it does kind of explain, why we've fallen so much, or again, the news and what's been coming out over Bitcoin and crypto as a whole, or things in the news which happened which affect crypto have caused these big, dumps. However, the position we're in is also attributed to the reasons I'm going to go into in a minute. So, obviously be excited for that. It's going to be some pretty good TA. And if you are, someone who, enjoys this content, and you're someone who's maybe watched a stream or two and you're like, oh, these guys are kind of good, I don't know if I want to subscribe or not. Well, just do it, man. It's free. Why not? It supports us. It helps you in the long run. Obviously, you can get up to date on the streams and the videos. Obviously, the videos are really great. Mike does the videos on the channel, so he does some really great videos, and he does stream in the morning as well. So do go check them out. And while you're down there, just like the stream. It's something which supports us. It's free. Again, like subscribing. It's free. It's just a little thing. It just shows your support. And the last thing I will say: descriptions, links. Check them out. Telegram, important. Just do it. Why not? And the last thing is, if you've got any coins you want me to cover, please do let me know in the chat. I'm not going to cover too many today, because I've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, as I always do. I'm looking at Mu today as well, because it's something we are partnering with. Mu, obviously, that is happening. Obviously, Mike's probably talked about it in his videos as well, so check them out, like I said. But I'm not going to be covering too many, and if the OGs, give some coins, I will be mainly covering them. But I want to keep it within 9 till 10, maybe 10 past 10, whatever it is. So if the OGs give a lot of coins, I might not cover any external coins. But if the coins are dry and you suggest a coin, I'll read it out. Especially if you're in somewhere where the chat's moving fast, read it out a couple times, or type it a couple times. I'll read it out when I see it, and I'll add it to my list. And I think that is it of the chat. Let me have a little quick look at the chat, see what everyone's saying. Well, no surprise on Binance, everyone is spamming nothing. So no point reading that. Let's have a quick look at your YouTube chat. Bushville, what's up? What's going on? Glad you can join. Tariq the GOAT is here as well. It's been pretty dry. Mike warned me before I started the stream that not a lot of people are on the streams. Obviously, again, there is actually a big correlation between how negative or positive we do in crypto and the viewership of streams. It's just like that. So I think everyone's probably packed it in for the day and gone, I can't be bothered with crypto. I don't want to hear any more of it. I've had enough. Okay, the markets are dumped. I don't want to deal with this anymore. They're not watching the stream, but I'm glad you guys are here as well. I do appreciate it. I think, again, I've already said that. I think that's it. I think we'll just get into CoinMarketCap, see some percentages, and have a little look. So we can see again, Bitcoin 63.10 or 63.1 right now. Obviously, the hour is pretty much just printed in the last 5 minutes, so we're gonna have a bit of a retracement. Obviously, always whenever the hour or whenever a new candle prints, there's always a bit of some new action on the coin. So yeah, we're still hovering in this range though. I'll explain everything when we get into that. 24 hour, 5% down. It's been some crazy movement. It is been absolutely mental. It's been mental. Again, we had it was funny because I don't know who it was exactly. They tweeted that they were going to move the Bitcoin, but nobody knew that they were going to do anything in the first place. So no one listened. So obviously, as I said last stream, we talked about the Bitcoin dump before the last Bitcoin dump and before this Bitcoin dump. But after the big dump we had after Trump, yeah, whatever. We should be dumping. It's ridiculous. But that period, last stream, we were talking about how on Binance they would tweet before they did something big to warn everyone that nothing's happening, and there wouldn't be any fear in the markets. Bitcoin wouldn't dump. But the US, I don't know who it was. I don't know exactly what department it was. But they did tweet that they were going to move this Bitcoin. But since nobody knew that they were going to do anything because they didn't like kind of forewarn it, nobody was watching them to know that Bitcoin was going to do anything, and it dumped anyway, even though they tried to warn everybody. But again, it's just ridiculous. But again, this is what's nice about the markets. This is what's nice about doing something where the result of the price is an accumulation of everyone's actions. Again, obviously, there's the market maker who kind of watches in the background and tries to liquidate everybody. That is something external. But the main premise is the entirety of people trading is their own TA. Again, everyone has their own little strategy, and they all use it. But what I find funny is even though the news or not might push us, TA can always win. I'm not saying, Mike always tells me, always make sure you're checking the news. I do advise that. Make sure you're keeping, in date with the macro news and what's going on. But it is also interesting to see, and we'll get into it right now after I read Ethereum Solana, how you can still kind of predict the market even though news may or may not affect it. I'm bored in this room, by the way, as well. This aircon, don't know if it's on the mic. Sorry about that. It's not on. But anyway, Ethereum 3,095. It's low, 6.6% 24 hour. It's all being an absolute mess. And Solana $160. I had 165. Obviously we're a bit below that. Again, we're pretty below pretty much everything right now. I did have 165 as a prediction because we did have vector candles. Obviously high volume candles. Again, you might hear some people. I know some other people use vector candles. I know the creator of vector candles is on this channel, but all it is volume price. It is volume analysis. That's the end of the day. It is a spread of an increased amount of volume. So all we're really doing is reading a fancy version of the volume. But we will look at it nonetheless because volume is important. Because obviously the big boys, Wyckoff, they used to read off the tape. What the tape was the ticker name, the price, and the volume, and they used to trade profitably anyway. So if they can do it, I'm sure you guys can as well. But anyway, let me check the chat quickly. I didn't want my family to be liquidated, so I'm here. Yeah. Obviously, if you're not in Telegram, you won't know. I do. Mike will post a link to the stream, and then I'll put a little. If you don't join the stream, your whole family will be liquidated or whatever. So it's a little joke. Yeah, you can drop some. Yeah, as well. If we've got too many coins, if you drop some supers or drop some little things going on to try and get me to read the chat. Obviously, I will cover them as well. Mew and Jupe, I'll cover Mew and Jupe. Let me add it to my list. Or we'll cover Mew anyway. But I'll add Jupe as well to the list. Yeah, US Marshall, that's the one. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, as well, smash the likes. Come on, you know what annoys me is the viewership and the disparity between how many people are watching and how many people are actually liked. Come on, man. It's just, I'm disappointed. We're giving this brilliant content all the time, and you don't like. Anyway, I've absolutely yapped. I always yap. Anyway, I'm moving on to the chart. So, okay, we're gonna go over this quickly. I did cover this before anything really happened in the OG area. Hopefully my head isn't covering anything. I don't think it is. We covered this in the OG area on Telegram. If you're not in there, it's $2.99 a month. There's people who will charge $99 a month for utter crap. It'll be an EMA cross, and they'll charge you $99 for that per month. Or it'll be a lower time frame cross to the 200, and that'll be their whole strategy. And they'll make money every occasional time, and that's $99 a month. But you're getting $2.99. You get fresh indicators, okay? Because I am making indicators. I'm currently making a liquidation estimation based on open interest and cumulative volume delta. So you got that coming. We've got channel signals. If I whip up this, got channel signals. Obviously, for someone who uses signals, again, this my thing is pretty laggy there. My chart is pretty laggy. But you've got signals say, look, it's been pretty accurate. Sell. Obviously, it does get a finny. Again, signals are great. But again, you want confidence. I do, say this a lot of the time on most of my streams. You want to try and get yourself as much confidence as possible. Some people say, oh yeah, indicators are trash. Just use price action, or just do this, that, the other. Just look at the volume. Obviously, I don't want 10 different sources of data. But if I can try and garner as much, understanding of how the market is moving or potentially moving based off certain things, then I will use it so. So again, signals are great. Now these signals, you can trade these signals and be profitable. But again, I will advise, even though these are my indicators and I want you guys to use the indicators, again, $2.99 a month. And once you come into the group, once you come into the OG group, you get the indicator, you get it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Again, signals are great. You can see, good sell signal. It uses the parabolic SAR. Really good. Tries to, predetermine how the market's moving. Really good bets right here. Obviously, you could follow this and be profitable, but I wouldn't advise it. Again, make sure you're following confidence. Make sure you're following the ideology of having as many sources as you can, which don't overcomplicate your charts. Again, you don't want 50 billion EMAs on the screen trying to tell you this, that, the other. You do want to keep it a bit simpler, but just try and give yourself a bit more confidence and give yourself the best edge on the market. But we do have these signals. We have some significance. Oh, again, one of the best support resistance drawing indicators on the entirety of TradingView. If you do want to get this as well, you draw a necklace. Yeah, it is it's like a pearl, beautiful necklace. And what a pearl necklace is, they're a lot of money. And what do we have with this TA? We get a lot of money coming. We've got a lot of money coming. Anyway, simple significance, really great support resistance. You could use these. These are great. Again, obviously not financial advice, whatever. That's a good indicator. Obviously, we've got some other random ones. I don't have them all up. I'm not going to show them all. I don't want to yap too much. But again, $2.99 a month. You get the OG group. You get to talk to people who are also all doing their own charts and whatnot. Again, obviously, I'm not saying the people in there have to provide your charts. You could join the group and never speak. You don't have to. But I do give my TA every now and then. Again, none of it's financial advice. I could be wrong. This week has been bad because there's been big YouTubers who have nearly got liquidated this week. This week has been a really horrible week for crypto and the markets. It's been a really horrible week. Things have been happening left, right, and center, and you just can't predict these. So again, all the TA, no matter, I'll say it for the people who don't say it. If you watch someone, doing charts and they don't say not financial advice, take it from me, none of it's financial advice. They can be doing the charts. You can trade it if you want. You can trade my, my analysis. If I say I think we're gonna go here and here, this is what I think. I'm wrong. Everyone gets it wrong. I'm wrong. I am wrong often. People are wrong often. The big YouTubers, they're wrong often. People can get it wrong. But all that matters is if you're profitable, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many trades you take. You can take 9 out of 10 trades, but if that one trade makes you profitable, who cares? As long as you're profitable, it doesn't matter. And even if you're not profitable, just keep going. Just keep going, making sure you are refining yourself day in and day out. This is what I do. My thing is, I'll go look at different strategies, and I'll take little parts of that strategy and build it into my own. That's all I'll do. But anyway, look, you have too much. I'm balling. I think me being hot just makes me talk more. I liked the absolute goat, drop dead, the man. When you've drawn necklace, yeah, I've already read that. Yeah, beautiful necklace here. You're the Oracle as well, Mike. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I am the Oracle. Okay, I can't agree with what you just said because I am the Oracle. You can't take that away from me. But he's got his own little area. He's got his fibs. He's got his trend lines. And he gets it right. He's got his bull market support band, the thing he loves. If he could marry an indicator, it would be bull market support band. And if it works, it works. And again, I always say that as well. If you've got a strategy and you're profitable with it, who cares? I don't care what you use. You could use the 50, 200 day EMA cross, bounce off the 200, come into the 50. If you've got an EMA cross 50 to 200, you come below the 50, but you're above the 200, and you long it. You get some profit. And let's say the RSI is low, or you've got some parabolic SAR, and that's below you, trying to tell you should long. That could be a strategy. I don't care what you use as long as you're profitable at the end of the day. And if you're not, keep working. Keep working, because we're all going to make it. Wag me. We're all going to make it. I'm looking at this. So, let me actually explain what's on my screen. I've kept it for a while. So, this was in the OG group. I'm going to explain it really quickly. This was our kind of the volume. And this is how we've been moving so far. So, it's been kind of a red-green kind of boom, boom, boom as we've been going. So, each one of these red and green areas are volume. Basically us coming to volume candles. And what are volume candles or vector candles? What are vector candles? You've got green ones, you've got pink ones or fuchsia, you've got blue and you've got red. What's all this crap? These are volume candles. So this basically reads over the previous candles and sees how much volume they've roughly been using. And then if it notices a discrepancy in the volume, or not a discrepancy per se, but a significantly high amount of volume, and in comparison to the previous candles, it will mark it out on the chart. And obviously the green ones are better than blue, pink ones better than red. But basically it's just high volume candles at the end of the day. That's all it is. And these are areas where we've had a significant amount of volume in a direction where there might be outstanding areas where we could come to. And you kind of draw, like magnets, you're kind of drawn to them where there could be potential buy and sell. And when you come to them, you normally possibly reverse, or there's this, that, and the other. Again, I'm not the best one to explain it. But just a little explanation of what they are before we get into it. So, why are they important? Well, they are potential areas, and obviously the bigger they are, the better they are. When you fill these areas, it normally means you've got a large amount of buy. And obviously, the original guy, Traders Reality, he's the one who made it. I am gonna kind of do something. I'm gonna do something differently from these because I don't really like some aspects of them. But there are, basically the way he describes it is like, okay, cool. You've got like the market makers who are like, okay, as you're buying, they're selling, and they'll pump it down and get the liquidity. This, that, the other. Again, it's that ideology. Yeah, cool. If it works, whatever. But this was kind of the structure we had as we were moving, you see, boom, we had this red up here. You can see kind of the remnants of the rest of it with these kind of like faint red lines. And again, these are like crumbs. You're never going to come to these. You want to come to the big, you got the chips on the side, but you got the burger. You're going to eat the chips by themselves and leave the burger, or you're going to go to the burger. I think if you had a burger and chips in a restaurant, you'd rather eat the burger and leave the chips than eat the chips and leave the burger. So they're just crumbs. They're just there. They're kind of just remnants to say, we've eaten something, we've come here, we've eaten good, and now we're going to move on. So these kind of areas. So again, red. Okay, so this was the structure. We obviously, as we came up, we are producing these higher volume candles, which kind of go, bring us along, all the way to our high point. And again, when you're in price discovery, it's hard to kind of use these sorts of indicators, this, that, the other. It's a lot easier. The best way to be using price discovery is obviously now you can use price action. And how the price moves to kind of predict that, because it's hard to use indicators when you're in areas you've never really been before. But we stopped at this significant point, and we did produce high volume red candles. Red and green are the high areas where you actually have significance. So you see we produced one here, and then we came down to some of these previous ones. And again, like I said, as we were coming up, we were producing these high volume candles where there's potential for a lot of buy to be there. So obviously we produced this, came down to this candle again, obviously came down here, came down to this candle again, obviously coming up. Where do we come up to? Again, it's a back and forth, it's like a ping pong game. We came up and we came in this area, as you can see, filling up these candles. You can see we had candles here, we came to these areas and filled it up, and then we reversed. And again, a lot of the time, unless you're moving really dryly, whenever you're moving up, you're normally producing some sort of candles. So you can see on our way down we have these red candles, and on our way up to fill these red candles, we had green. So you can see we come down to an arbitrary amount. And again, it does depend, and this is where you need other indicators. You can't just use, there's no magic indicator, there's no magic this, there's no magic data source. And again, obviously, depends what you use. If you use EMAs, you do use what you want, I don't really care. But, there's not really one magic data source which can tell you the entirety. There might be some data source or some strategy which doesn't work, or only works an occasional amount of times, or only appears an occasional amount of times, which does work more often than not. That will work. But again, you want something which can tell you what the market's doing, or the situation you are in for the market at any given time. That's kind of the goal. But obviously, as you can see, producing these red candles, obviously, as we zoom in, you can see we're slowly filling them. You can see printed one here, printed some leftovers here. You can see we came to that range perfectly. Obviously, as we printed down, we came back into to fill some sell and then continue on. We kind of had this good structure as we moved down to the previous sell areas. And obviously then we came up filling this sell area, and then we came down. So again, going over the ping pong kind of back and forwards buy and sell. Because if you had infinite buy and no sell, then where would you be? You'd be all over there. But so that's like short term. That's why I circled these in white. These are like these examples of where you have this one's especially good as well. Zooming in, this is a significant amount of high volume candles right here. You can see. And the reason why these are highlighted, again, looking at the volume profile, or not the volume profile, just the volume in general. Previous candles, very, very low, but then we had very, very high red candles. So these are going to be areas, and again, this is what I talk about as well, so I will be misleading if I said these were huge sell, because volume is just the entirety tick amount, or the amount of ticks in this candle. Obviously, I'm probably explaining that pretty badly. If there's, if there's someone in the chat who can explain it better or whatever, just explain it, and you'll do a better job than me. But basically, they're not sell and buy. So when you see a big red block of volume, and you see a red candle, you think, oh my god, this is huge sell. Yeah, we're coming down. This is that, the other. It's an accumulation of the entire kind of trades within that candle. So these could be, and again, the way you kind of predict that is either you can do buy and sell. There's ways of trying to estimate it and predict it, but the main way you can kind of estimate where the balance was is in the candle. So if you can see a very, very big kind of body, and you can see like the spread isn't that large, very big body, it normally means there's a majority amount of sell, and there's a high amount of sell, but there wasn't a lot of a buy. But you can see in these areas, for example, this candle, the spread wasn't that big, but you can see the body of the candle was like tiny. So it means you've got a high wicks up at the top, high wicks at the below, which means there's a more than equal or a closer to equilibrium amount of buy and sell in that candle. So it means there's something going on, there's a bit of a fight going on, and obviously, if you're using someone who uses candlestick patterns, there's probably some sort of thing here. But you can see, I'm not saying this is the example and this is holy grail sort of TA, but you're coming down, you produce one of these candles, high volume, yet no kind of body, which is kind of a going back to Wyckoff's effort and result kind of thing. It's like if you're staying in the middle of the area and you're not really moving, but you have high volume, there's a discrepancy there. And again, Anna Cooling, she's someone who did volume price analysis. You can go read her book and read her thing. She does a lot of, descriptions on how that works. But, when you're having these candles which don't move anything, yet you've got big wicks, it kind of, says to you, well, within that body, you've not moved much, but you've got a lot of volume, which suggests, obviously, there's a kind of a equilibrium fight going on. And then what happened, we came up a bit. But anyway, I'm not really happy about that. You can go look it up. But my example is, if within these white areas, you can see we produced a high amount of red candles, and then we had a huge, uptick to kind of fill all these candles to get the sell, and then producing on the downwards. So it's kind of one of those things. And again, these candles are very important as well. These green-red ones really fast. And again, these are also engulfing order blocks as well. If you're, someone who, I use them quite often. They work. I like them a lot. But these are also really important as well when you see these with high volume. That is normally a significant amount of, when you form this and you see it on the sell, you normally want to sell at that point, even though you've come down a bunch. But these white circles are basically just examples of the scenarios where we have a high amount of buy sell, and then we come to fill it pretty much immediately. But that is just the inner kind of actions of the price within the entire range. Now again, if we go back to the other charts, we can see we did have this bull flag, which does bring us to these higher ranges. And I think Mike's done I think he's done a monthly bull flag, which I think brings us to like 110k for Bitcoin. So again, that's something as well. Mine is on the weekly more so, which brings us to about 85, 90k, upwards. Let me read this. I see a lot of chat going on. Let me check Binance first though, just to see what's going on. Again, it's a lot of spam. Binance is a pile of crap. There's no moderation. I think there's actually one person on the team, which is crazy. Some people say lovely, thank you, I appreciate that. Anyway, let me look the YouTube chat. I need to zoom in on this. My problem is my monitor's all the way over there, and it's just got no, like, the chat's really small. So let me actually just bring it up in front of me so I can actually read it. What have we got? We've got some. Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know. I'm the Oracle. Okay, yeah, you could call him the Oracle, but again, you've got to remember who the main guy is. Leave your fib alone. Yeah, I know. No. Again, I'm actually not arguing it's fibs. Fibs are great. KB, yo, what's going on? Like you be here. Good evening. 50 views. Again, yeah, exactly. 50 views, 5 likes. What's going on? Morning, I don't even see to look. It seems crypto is down again. Oh well, let's see any buying opportunity. Again, that's true. Again, I mean that's the main thing. When you're a massive discount, you want to be looking for those buy opportunities. But again, there's a lot of context there. You have to look back. You have to make sure you're knowing what's going on. You can't just look at one movement downwards and go, oh, we're in a discount, let's long. Well, if you look all the way back, you can see what sort of situation we're in. We can see how much sell we've filled, and we haven't come down yet. So on the longer term of things, we are very high. Hopefully better buying opportunities at 59k for good on it. Yeah, again, what I'm going over right now, like I said, with these volume areas, we do have these high volume. And again, obviously this area, again, like you said, 59k. The end of that, which I expect to fill, 59.8, that area as well, especially. Now, I did produce this on the OG chat quite a while ago while we were up here. When I was looking at the longer term of things, obviously not on the short term things, but on the kind of going towards the 8 hour, the 4 hour, obviously not long term, but the hard time frame based TA. This was what I saw. I was like, okay, cool. We've got this low area, and again, this is more confluence with the trend we're in. Again, we have bounced. If we draw this line, obviously this isn't the chart I have it on, but you can see this is our bull flag. Bounce, boom. We've bounced off it. This is our bounce. We filled, and again, this is lining up with these huge sell areas and this huge volume. You can see we did fill. Again, this must be a really high volume area, and again, confluence with the bounce off the higher trend line. We've got this confluence on these high volume candles, filling these for some sell, coming down. Obviously, again, it depends how you think about them, but coming to them is more so of a, if you think it's filling sell, or if you think it's something where you're overextended, the general idea of coming to these areas is, okay, cool, we're in some sort of scenario where we should be looking for some sell opportunity coming down to the next buy area. And obviously, we fill that sell area. Where was the next buy area? It's where we are now, coming towards about 62.2, coming down towards about 60k, 59.8. I did circle this lower one down here. Now, this is a longer term thing. We have the weekly bull flag, the bottom of that, and again, you can see, if we kind of telegraph it, you can see this bounce, boom, coming up, bounce. Obviously, we've bounced off the top end here. You can see where we're coming down to. It comes towards 52k, 51k down there. Now, I don't want to be negative Nancy or anything, but if we haven't broken out the bull flag, and you can see our bounce, we haven't broken out the bull flag, we want to come down a bit. Now, again, I'm not saying we can't go up. I'm not saying we can have a bit of a entrapment. I'm not saying Once we come to this barrier, you know, we fill 60k, we can't go back up towards 66 and then come down. But the longer trend, and this is more so of a weekly bull flag, the longer trend does suggest to us we should be coming down to these low areas. So it's not so much of a thing where I think we're going straight down. This is obviously on a slightly higher time frame. I do think this barrier is something significant where we can't ignore it, where we can bounce off it and then go back upwards a bit. And again, also something to bear in mind, there is always midpoints in trends. Again, you can see this is a good example. It's probably here. We're in this you know, bounce off here, coming upwards again. Had a bounce in this area, obviously coming down. Obviously had a bounce off this trend line here. So there's a lot of bounces off the rough mid area of the trend. Obviously that happens often in different scenarios as well. So there is that potential where we fill this buy and then we come up and we don't come all the way down. But again, looking at how much sell we have above us, I think it'd be something where in the scenario where we come towards like 60k, fill it, come up a bit, maybe towards like 67, wherever it may be, and then come down again towards bouncing off the bottom of the bull flag. And again, what we've talked about other streams on the high time frame coming into August, September, October, and you know, me and Mike talked about it. We thought we should have another bounce in the bull flag and then come up. So this would be our bounce. This would be our bounce coming down towards 52k and then coming upwards. Which, and again, the time it'll take for us coming down towards 52k and then coming up again would give us enough time to enter towards September time, October time, whenever it is. And again, that a line from the bottom of here, bringing us towards maybe 90k, 80k, wherever it is in this range. So you've got that to bear in mind. So I do think we are on our bounce, probably on our last bounce. And again, obviously trends. Again, trends don't have to always do this, but you normally bounce 3 or 4 times in a bull flag or anything. Obviously, different trends give different bounces. But the general drawing of one of these bull flags is you kind of bounce, you know, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. You bounce like 3 times, and then you 3 or 4 times, and then you break out. Again, that's probably, you know what, ignore that. That's probably pretty trash. But again, that's something else. But again, also we do have some power of 3 movements going on. So we've come from the high point down to some areas down here. Now I'm not going to give it away because it's something I'm still working on. But the structure is basically you go from the high to the low, and you go from a high point, and then you come down, and then you do a bounce into a zone about here, where the high, they're called like liquidity voids, where there's high volume candles. Obviously lines up with these areas. So it suggested to me we should come up to about, I think about 67.5. Again, I think I was on a lower or higher time frame, but it was about 67.5 over here. So we could have that bounce. And obviously that coincides with what I'm saying right now, where we fill this area, or fill some of this area, coming up towards, you know, some of this sell, filling some of this, coming to about 67.5, and then coming down again. We could do that. That is potential for that. It does depend how we respond to this area. Now, I do have all the chat minimized, so I'm going to read the chat now. I've just finished that. Actually, let me bring this up again, because I can't see. I'm blind. Drink some water as well, because... I love red candles though. Big discounts on the favorite coins. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, that's the way you think about it. You know, if you bought a certain scenario and then you start to come low and you're like, oh my god, my thing's now valued less. You know, it's more important and it matters more when it's realized. You know, you've got unrealized profit or loss. You know, you can still wait for that, and eventually, on a long period of time, and again with Bitcoin, if you bought at the low, just ignore this. Just wait till we get to the high points. Obviously, we are going to be talking about where the high points are. I've already talked about 80, 90k. Mike thinks 110k. I think some other people on Twitter think, you know, 100k area as well. So yeah, 90, 100k. That'll be a high of this area. But again, as we go into the future, if you just hold on, there's no point worrying about what you haven't lost, because you haven't lost it yet. I told you on the last stream that Bitcoin was bouncing back down to 6k. Yeah, I mean, again, we do have all these high volume candles as well. I mean, my main tier on that, because I don't want to have every single indicator on the screen, because again, it gets way too messy, and I don't want to have a messy screen, because you want to be able to kind of understand it. I'm not expecting everyone to understand my entire, you know, kind of thought process, and that's why I go over them. That's why I talk about them. But I didn't have any of the volume indications on the screen at that time because I was looking at the expanding triangle we had, and I wasn't looking at that period of time on the higher time frames, 4 hour and beyond, where we come down from the bull flag towards 52k. But anyway, you a negative, Nigel? Me? No, sure. Okay, let me read some more. let's say in any case, by some big bearish news, Bitcoin goes below 50k, will that kill all the altcoins, or will we get an alt season with the destroyed dominance? Well, we've been talking about this actually. Me and Mike talked about it as well when we looked at interest rates and talking about risk on assets and whatnot. Obviously, Mike was considering. We were kind of talking about why was Bitcoin going down in comparison to interest rates. He was thinking, okay, Bitcoin's a risk on asset, and again, we do have potential for high returns and high losses. So technically, there is risk within, and again, there's risk within any sort of investment when you're coming to the only sort of I mean, there's not really much. If you're trying to make money on your capital, you have to be finding some risk. You're either making money on your hours, on your manpower, or you're making money on your capital. If you're making money on your man hours, obviously that's putting in work for a good or service. Again, that's something different that you can't really lose in that regard unless you lose your job or the good or service isn't wanted anymore. But when you're making money on your capital, there's always going to be some sort of risk involved. Obviously, more risk, more reward, this, that, the other. But in terms of the safety in between Bitcoin and altcoins and potential for shorter and or longer term movements over the period of time, I would actually consider that period as Bitcoin's coming down because of the interest rates and altcoins, obviously in the altcoin season and whatnot. Those are more risky. Those are always going to be more risky. So I would say so. But in terms of so if big Bitcoin bearish news, people are selling. Where they're selling to, they're probably going to be mostly selling to stable coins. Where they're going to be putting that money, they're not going to be holding it to stable coins. So, if there's more potential for money to come into the economy, they will be putting it into more risky assets. So yes, there could be potential for alts to be coming up. In terms of what your comment just said, yeah, absolutely, I would agree. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Bitcoin going to 50k would have wrecked the entire market. Yeah. Considering what range we're in, I don't think 50k is that worrying. If we start printing really far below 50k towards 44, or if we come towards, I don't know, let's say this 44k range, I'd start to worry. I'd really start to worry. Reza, what's going on? I'm glad you could join. Great to have the Oracle, Mike, and yeah, man, it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week. Print doesn't happen, yeah. Hope we bounce off the bottom of my range, said today. Astroport and yeah, okay, don't buy Astroport or Kajira. With all the selling, I don't see it. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough, absolutely. But obviously, things can't go down forever. Things can't go up forever. So, but with your name, down but not out, we are not down. How active is TG? We're pretty active. Again, we're not super billion follower famous, so we don't have a lot of people. But again, it's $2.99 a month. You can get different indicators. We get to talk. There are, I am posting some PDFs. I am posting some things I'm experimenting with. Obviously, power of free. There's something going. Look it up. You know what? You guys can find it. And again, if you come to the Telegram, I'll send all the PDFs in there to talk about it. Again, this isn't some $99 course. This is just an area. Again, as we grow, bigger and bigger, and as we get more honed when it comes to our accuracy, we will be providing more and more different things within our groups. And I do plan in the long period of time to be producing some of these tools. Again, like I already said in one of the other streams, I think maybe last stream, I do plan to provide our own crypto warehouse liquidation heat map on our own website. I do plan to make that eventually. I am also making an indicator, which actually it's been going well. Obviously, I've posted some screenshots in the Telegram. Again, like I already said at the start of the stream, all these indicators I give them away for free. This might change in the future because we don't have a lot of people right now. But all the things I make, I post them all into the Telegram. If you want to use them, you want to use them. If you don't, you don't. Who cares? I don't really care. But I am making a liquidation thing. Basically, it'll go off an average off the open interest, and it'll look at the volume, see what direction we're going in, and it will draw based on that candle what sort of liquidations you could expect based on different leverages. And so far, it's been going pretty well. But I'm honing it. I'm still producing it, so I will be posting that in the Telegram. Hopefully pretty soon. But there's tons of things I'm planning to. We've got a new project I want to build as well. They're going to be called FISI candles. I'll give all that information away at a later date. But yeah, no, Telegram's good. Again, we don't have like a billion people. We have the general Telegram. You can come join there for free. We've got the OGs. That's for the general chat. And we're more responsive in there than anything. But yeah, come to the description. Telegram links then there. You can come post what you want. Absolutely. Yeah, you can post some charts. Yeah, for sure. More than happy to. I think the link's in the description, I believe. But anyway, like I said, yeah, I mean, you don't see it. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Again, like I said, it does depend on our response off of this. But you can see what I think based on what we have on the far right, which was this short from the tops coming into these sell areas all the way down to the potential bottom area, which would line up with our weekly bull flag, bring us down towards 52k. But like I said, there's always worries with these, these midpoint bounces, where, like I said, we could expect, some sort of like, boom, 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 boom coming up. And again, I believe we do have a bit of, if we zoom in, obviously my bet was about 67,500, which is, about here. So you can, you might be able to see what I'm putting down could have a bit of a head and shoulders, which would break us below these support points. And where these support points right now, roughly within 63.69 and this buy area. So what would that do? That would bring us below this buy area, which would then fill us up and then bring us down to the next area, which we need to. If we haven't broken out the bull flag, we need to come to the bottom of it. Otherwise, we're going to be in the mess. But anyways, we're like halfway through the stream. I've yapped. I sat my phone and band dropped dead. What the hell, man? Okay, I'm going to move on to Ethereum. See what's going on. Okay, what have we got going on here? Okay, so we have. You know what? Wait, was this the chart I looked at? Was it? Whoops. Do you know what? If you press space on TradingView, it just takes you to some completely different area. Was it OKX we had a chart? Okay, here it is. Is this our main area? I think this was when I was. But this is the problem. I just draw charts on different. Yeah, I just draw charts on different areas. We had that. That was suggesting a really low move actually. Let's go on this chart. This is where I had it previously. So, similar movement. Obviously, we had a kind of a that going on, bringing us down to here. Obviously, this was good support. Again, if you zoom in, a good order block there. You can see formed it, good resistance, flipped it then at support, bang, came down to its support, obviously bang. Where have you come to? Where are we at right now? Came below. Well, we've printed below the midline, which is obviously a difficult scenario, but obviously we're at the bottom line, which is good. So we could have something like that, a bit of a bounce up. But considering how much sell we have, we could slip below and continue onwards. Especially what I think, again, if Bitcoin's going to 50k, expected, or if we're going to these even not even 52k, even coming down to these 60k ranges and then coming up, that would cause some a big palaver in some water in Ethereum and the market. Again, obviously we've seen this movement's been a bit more normal, so you can see the market's kind of been responding appropriately. But you can also see that must be a lower time frame order block, but we do have it. Where's my rectangle? There it is. We do have it there as well. As you can see, bouncing off it there. So we do have support in this range, coming to about 2,900, which is good anyway. So if we slip below, we also have support. Again, if I zoom in, you can see good support here. As a response from this order block, you can see, boom, resistance good, flips it, support, going up. So good support. I don't expect it to rip below unless we have some really concerning aspects in the market. But you can see, even though we've slipped below, and I think we are slipping below, even if we come up towards 31.50, I do think we come down. We do have a wick to the top of the order blocks, so I think we might sit in this range instead. This is not like super long term coming into the rest of August. This is currently like right now. But I do think we'll probably sit below here because this will be pretty strong. This is a 4 hour as well. This is pretty strong, but again, we are overextended in terms of obviously market effort, which I'm not really looking at too much. We can see we're in a bit of a scenario right now, and again, comparing to sorry, I'm losing my voice right now. Comparing to Bitcoin, we know that the situation we're in. Obviously, we had that big volume area which we're kind of coming into right now, expecting a bit of a bounce up to, and again. This lines up with Power 3, kind of the certain levels, which I'm not going to mention, and the structure of the algorithm, bringing us down to, I can't remember the structure exactly, but it brings us down, then we go to a opposite area. Again, if you notice, you notice. If you don't, you don't. Again, it's in the OG area, bringing us up to a high area, bringing us down then to where we are now, expecting a high movement. So, again, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. bring us up to a certain area, which was my first bet was 67,500, which is where we also have sell area, which is where we could also expect, if we respond off this buy area upwards a bit, coming up for Bitcoin. Obviously, we've been sold for ages now, having a bit of retracement and then bring us down. It would be, number one, we would come up, huge sell area. Number two, it would clear out the buy we have below us. Number three, we could produce a head and shoulders and bring us down to where we need to go, which I've already talked about, where we need to go, 52k-ish, at the bottom of the bull flag. So that's what I could expect. Anyway. Yeah, so that's what I said. So Ethereum, again, you always have to pay attention to what's going on in the market. Bitcoin, you're going to have a bit of a bias on the higher time frames and what Bitcoin's doing. We know what I know anyway, what I roughly think Bitcoin's going to be doing, where it has that bouncing off a certain area, coming up and then coming down. We don't really have that for Ethereum, and again, each coin's their own. So that, again, you can see there's no real buy areas. And, you know, where are we, actually? Let me zoom out a bit. So this was, you know, if you know, we haven't really seen much lower than this area down here. So we don't have, you know, okay, you can see right now. Where we have right now, okay, cool. We've got, you know, sell. This is, you know, decently big where we are right now, coming up to maybe 3,200. Obviously, big area right here. This will probably be the 70,800s, 71,500. Obviously, I've sent screenshots in the OG area, and I've talked about it on the stream. The 71,500 area is another big sell area for Bitcoin. This is probably the equivalent area for Ethereum, coming towards about 3,800. Obviously, you know, 4,000s area. 4,200 was a big number, I thought, as well. Again, you can also see we have sell area there for Ethereum. But we don't have a lot of buy. We don't have a lot of buy, which doesn't matter. We don't always have to come to these verticals. Again, no indicators. We don't have a magic holy grail indicator, which can tell you exactly what's going on. So you do have to go for some different. You can't just solely use these areas. So you do have to look at, you know, occasionally support, resistance, and again, you can pay attention to what we're doing here. Okay, cool. We're bouncing here. Cool. Probably bouncing, coming up. You can see it right now. What we're doing. We've already had the bounce. Probably comes to 30 minutes. You can see we've had the bounce starting to come up into this area. If I zoom in a bit. We're doing it right now. Probably filling this very soon. Maybe not the exact thing to 3,165. But you can see, come down to order block. This is actually where, funnily enough, where buy area was. If we go back, you can see buy area. This was where the start of the order block was, coming from the either, you know, the kind of the first half, the half of the first half, quarter. Of the order block, obviously coming into some of it. So again, this general area was high buy. What have we done? We shimmy across. Obviously, we filled a bit here. You can see if we shimmy across from where we came to, we filled about half of it. Filled it, obviously came up again. What have we done? We've come lower, and we filled a bit more, and now we're coming up. So again, we filled it, coming up. This is 30 minutes, by the way, so these aren't going to be really strong support resistance areas. We filled it, probably coming up to about 3,150, coming down a bit. Probably slowly continuing our movement downwards, more and more and more. So, yeah. Let me go back to the 4 hour. I want to give more of a high time frame. So, again, similar with Bitcoin, like I said, support area, big buy area, coming down to there, filling that, coming up, bang, filling some sort of arbitrary high number, then coming down more and more and more. As, obviously, like I said, Bitcoin goes to where I expect 52k to bounce off the bottom of the bull flag. So, this could be our area, you know, 3,300 could be our area. That was an area we were sitting at for a long period of time, this rough area. You can see blue, we filled all this pretty nicely. We don't really have much up that, unless we're expecting to go towards 3,500, which I don't think so. Again, Bitcoin, it went from about 69.70 down to where we are now. 67,500 is roughly midpoint, maybe a bit higher. So if we draw a rectangle from the high to the low, you can see the rough midpoint is where this sell area is. So again, similar with Bitcoin, where it comes to maybe some rough midpoint upwards. Ethereum, in this case, could be 3,300. Coming up to there, filling this, and then coming down. So yeah, I'm expecting more movement downwards. Again, it's nothing to worry about, really. Again, if you're someone who's in spot and you've got it bought and you're like, oh my god, the value of it's going down, what am I going to do? Don't sell when it's going down or anything like that. Just hold on. It's going to be good over the period of time. If you're in a long, obviously, not financial advice. I've pressed space again. I hate this so much. But obviously, you want to be careful. Okay, you know what? We're a long period. We're actually a long. We've only got 15 minutes left. What I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna go a bit faster right now because we do need to cover some coins. I think I'm on this chart. Boom, boom. This is good. This is good. Yeah, this is actually really good. Actually. Okay, so I'm actually gonna check 2.6 to 2.9. I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. I think we've got I think I had 2,700 as a buy area. 2009 obviously was, I think, good support as we saw the line. I think we can go maybe a bit lower as Bitcoin has 55, wherever it was, 54. I think 52 is the low. So, comparing with Ethereum, 29, 28, coming down to 20, 27, 26. So, yeah, I agree. Let me check the chat, though, because there's a lot going on. Let me zoom in a bit. Okay. Okay. Read the chat. I should also. I'll read Binance in a minute as well. Yeah. I've been training since 2016. I have tried it all, indicator strategies, etc. I just think I can add some education to group. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. I always say this. I mean, there's no strategy which is perfect. There's nothing out there which is the holy grail. I've said this like 3 times now. Absolutely, I would appreciate it. Again, and this is what I said. I said it, I think, last time you talked about this, and I say this all the time. I'm always looking at different... Again, I'm not looking at changing my strategy every 2 seconds, but I do look at, external parties, external things out there, or people out there which have their own strategies. I look at what they do. I kind of look at it on chart, go, what's this, and this, and then I might take an aspect, or I might take 2 aspects, or I might, take on a bit of that, strategy. I'm not going to change my whole ideology unless it's really perfect. But yeah, absolutely. Post what you want. You're more than welcome to. If there's something out there, obviously, if there's something you have, and I look at it, I think this is actually really brilliant, I'll start using it. I will start using it on the stream. I'll shout you out. I'll appreciate it. Obviously, I'm not... If you're going to be here to sell me some sort of course, I'm not... Don't. But, if you're coming here, like you said, to add some education content, absolutely. I'm more than happy. Like everyone's here, be warmly welcome. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm a spy from Chris Advance. Man. Do you know what? What I stream, the stuff I stream on, if you click like an external thing, you'll just lag. Alright, there we go. Alright, can you look at Casper and Brett? Yeah, I'm gonna go quickly though. I know Brett didn't do what I expected it to do. Again, the market's not doing what I expected it to do. Apart from this, obviously higher time frame stuff like I talked about. So what do we have? Obviously, this was a longer period. This, again, Solana. I respect Solana. I talked about this before. The moody teenager of crypto. We had this similar structure. Obviously, I moved the line a bit, but we had the boom, bounce, bounce, bounce. And what did I say? I expected we could bounce on the outside and then either break up or break down. What do? We had the break up. Obviously, again, whenever I draw lines, they're not going to be time sensitive. I always say that. We had the break up, obviously, here. We had the 2 bounces here. And obviously, we're breaking down now. So good structure so far. Nicely respected. So what we're doing right now, obviously, we're producing these cells. Where are we coming to? We had some buys down here, but in general, we do have this big old order block. I believe this might be on a daily or a weekly, whatever it is. Again, Solana's a GOAT, right? Solana is the GOAT for respecting order blocks. Now, I'm pretty sure, am I missing some order blocks somewhere? I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. I swear I have more TA than this. Maybe I don't. Yeah, maybe I don't. Okay, so what we can see so far, obviously, what have we done? Obviously, we're producing all these buys on the upside. Obviously, filled the half of this. Now we filled the rest of it. What's really, really nice to see as well is the respect you have, or the respect the price has. Let me just draw this instead. There we go. The respect the price has for filling exactly where the buy and sell is. So you can see buy area, sell area. It's almost like it's meant to be. High volume buy, high volume sell. It's perfect. And what we're going to do, we're going to come down, we're going to find buy area, we're going to finally fill some buy area, and what we're going to do, we're going to come back upwards again. That's how the market works. You buy and you sell. You fluctuate. Anyway, like I said, so yeah, coming down again. What's nice to see as well, when your order blocks line up with your these volumes in it happens maybe once or twice a stream. I'll just spaghetti everything. What's nice to see is when your volume areas match up with your order blocks. Now, this again was a higher time frame order block, so the importance of these order blocks are shown cleaner on the higher time frames. But again, they're not going to be disrespected by in regard on the lower time frames. So you can see really nice there, really nice here, flip below, really nice resistance. Obviously tried to break above to resistance, but again flipped it, resistance. So again, these are well respected within any time frame, going down, cascading. Again, it's kind of like a fractal thing. You can't reverse fractal, whatever the hell, where you kind of cascade upwards with the order blocks. That just doesn't really work, because again, you can't really get an 1 minute order block and use it on the higher time frames. You have to bring it downwards. But we're bringing it downwards here. You can see we're respecting it. However, again, this would just be a wick. This wouldn't be some sort of bounce. Again, engulfing order block, these are kind of like the longevity resistance supports, which is nice. But anyway, respecting it. So I'm not saying we have to come to $151, we have to come to 145, or we have to come to 138 exactly. It's more so of a general range you come as a support. And you can see we have all this buy, which suggests to us, and guess what? It is within the entire range. So somewhere within this range, we're going to find support, either the midpoint, the top range, or the bottom range. Maybe something towards the top, the bottom range. But as the markets, I think, on the longer term, come down more and more, I don't think we hold this as much. Again, similar with what I said with Ethereum and Bitcoin, we come down, fill some buy, come up, maybe 169, 170, and then come down some more. Also, this is nice. Again, this isn't something really strong, but some buy, and guess where it is? It's where the top of the order block is. Really, really nice. Obviously, we have some buy down here. Whoops. I hate that. That is also the worst part about that. Just flipping off your indicator. Okay, I'm zooming in though. Yeah, so like I said, I think we have that structure. I think the market has that structure. When you look at the higher time frames, the higher time frames are always more structured. I said this on other streams. I believe CryptoFace has says this as well. But I think it's easy on the lower time frames to look at something which is more solely like data driven, like an indicator, or not saying buy sell signals, but an indicator more so, where it's like, it shows you it as it's updating, and you have data live printing as you're going along. It's a lot easier to respect that. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible to not do that. And again, am I advising to use buy sell signals or this, that, the other on lower time frames? No. I'm just saying I think it's a lot easier to do that on the lower time frames than the higher time frames because of the structure. And I think the higher time frames obviously are very, are more so structured than not. So they're easier to follow, and they're also easier to cross use TA from different coins. Obviously, again, all these coins, they're their own ecosystems. They don't have to follow one-to-one. Solana doesn't ever follow one-to-one wholly with the market, but there's a normal general direction. So I think that general direction, we will follow that similarly. I think we do come down continuously towards, $143, $150, wherever this range is, within this larger time order block. Come up, fill some sell, and then continue downwards. Here's what I think anyway. Let me read some chat. And I'll move on to the altcoins. Again, I don't really mind going over a tiny bit. Also, I know Mike spend some time doing the setting up the next streams, but you spend 2 hours on the streams. I'm sure you can just use some like news aggregator. I'm sure you can, right? Alright, here we go. So what we said, 11% buy on Brett. Yeah, we'll already go to the 10-cent zone for Brett. I'll have a look. I'll see what the volume's saying. Memes are undergoing significant correction. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Again, when the market's moving, again, the meme coins, especially the ones which aren't open or haven't been around for their market to mature for a long period of time, they can fluctuate and they can move. Especially when the market caps are very low, they can move very strong. And we've seen this a lot. Whenever I do TA, I normally don't really cross over TA from other coins or sentiment too much from other coins to meme coins, unless there's some good connection to them. Like, if I look at Bitcoin, I don't normally use too much weighting of the bias on the meme coins because it's just something which doesn't really follow that too exactly. But not saying they don't. Well, I'm not here to sell anything, buddy, or change how you trade. Everyone has to find their edge in the market. Yeah, exactly, true. I appreciate that. Yeah, again, I think you did join. I think I saw a notification. Again, you're more than welcome. Really appreciate it. My plan is, though, obviously, as we continue onwards with Crypto Warehouse, we do want to produce an area where we do have, because right now the OG is kind of like where we talk, but I do also post my charts, post what I'm thinking, especially that longer time frame Bitcoin movements, which we're doing pretty nicely right now. I post those things, so it's not like a signal thing where it's like, yeah, $149 a month, whatever the hell, where it's just signals and there's 14 billion traders. But the plan, it would be nice if we had some sort of area which was solely for signals, where, if we had members of our community who did want to do TA and are good at TA and have their own sort of system, who did want to post charts, we would hopefully offset some of the cost for being part of the Crypto OG to these sorts of traders. So, we do want to build some sort of ecosystem where we have a good building Crypto Warehouse OGs, where they come into these areas, and then we get some of that income. Obviously, right now it's cheap, but we will build it up as we go over, as we grow and grow and grow. Where we do want to kind of build a community of a couple traders where we would, give a cut of this to everybody. Obviously, again, if it takes you a long time to do it, this, that, the other, it's not something you can live or it depends, I suppose. But, it's just you do your charts, you do this and the other, you maybe do 1 or 2 charts, and then you get a bit of pay. That was kind of the goal. But anyway, going back to this, I've said my piece. Again, similar with the market. The low of this, I don't really think it'll be anywhere down there. If you see the longer term where we've been, it's similar with Bitcoin, but it's not really angled. It's kind of been, here you can see these bounces are in the same range. So I could expect maybe coming towards this range where this seemingly order block is. Yeah, it seems like an order block. So lowest 122. Again, that's pretty low. But again, if we're going to 52k for Bitcoin, we're going to be moving now pretty heavily in the market. So somewhere maybe probably within this range, maybe 127, 130, 132, where we've been before, similar. Similar how, Bitcoin has its 52k, Ethereum might have its, 2700, 2900 area. I think Solana's is about 26, whatever, down here. 126, sorry, down here. I am moving on, though, because we don't have too much time, but we are be looking at some other coins. And some coins I haven't actually done TA on yet. Okay, we're going to remove this because I'm not looking at that right now. So what are we doing? Okay, so we can see we had some sort, again, we're kind of in a price discovery area, so we couldn't really predict anything, but we can see, unless we use some sort of, actually, you know what tool I have never used? Is fib extensions. I don't know if you guys have ever used fib extensions. I've never used fib extensions. I think it does something like that. Oh no, maybe not do that because we've already been there. Like boom, boom, so something like this maybe. Huh. Isn't that nice? Look at that. That's pretty nice. Isn't that, whoa? Never used that before. Oh. Wow. Look at that. That resistance there was pretty decent. We're bouncing off it right now. Wow, I've never used this tool. That is really nice. That is really, really nice, that is. Huh, that's nice. Anyway. You know what, I'm really surprised about that. Making a channel for charts on the TG. Yeah, we do. We have a trading area on the normal Telegram as well. I think it's just called trading, but I don't post there too much because I'm still working on a lot of stuff. I'm working on a lot of these indicators for the OG, so I don't really have a lot of time. When we have something, I think the last time I posted on there was, I think it was a Bitcoin. I think it was a long. I don't know if it was. I think we were in the expanding triangle. I think I longed it, and I think we went up a decent proportion. But I don't post in there too much. We do have a trading area for that. But again, the OG area, we don't have too many channels. We can add channels really easily, but we just don't have that right now. See here as well. This is pretty decent. Obviously, it doesn't really come up too much. You know what? I might use that tool a bit more. That fibbles. These look really nice. These are actually really, really nice. Anyways, we're not here for that right now. I've never used that before. That is really cool. I know there's like fib circles as well. But I don't really use these. Yeah, these are just crazy. I think they're supposed to kind of indicate kind of when you're supposed to have big movements or whatever. You can see big movement there, big movement there. I don't know. Big movement. It might work. I don't know. If you use fib circles, let me know. If someone uses fib circles, come to the Telegram. Come teach me. I'm obviously there's people, and again, I understand this. People have pride. They have pride in what they do. They have it takes. I'm trying to think of the words. Sometimes I just don't know the exact word to use it, but it's kind of like they have they take pride and they have pride in their own strategy, and they're not open to kind of accept people giving them new information or new outlooks on things. I don't care about that. I will just do the way I do TA. And if you're someone who respects the way I do TA and you think I like you like the way I do it, and you come to the OG area and you do you like the way I do TA and I post my charts, there you go. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That is more than fine. But like I said, I'm more than happy to listen to people if you've got something out there, or if you're someone who's an avid user of fib circles. I don't know how to use fib circles. I can look it up. I normally look these things up, so I don't really spend some time with other people. But if you're someone who uses fib circles and you think that the bread and butter of your entire TA, come talk to me. Come to Telegram. Come give some screenshots. And I think I respect them as something as good TA. I will use them, and I will say thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You will you know, if you're someone who changes my mind on TA, you'll be added to the OG area. So, KB, if you're someone, if you send me all your information, you'll send me your kind of ideology on trading, and I really respect it. Obviously, I don't disrespect anybody's strategy. I'm gonna respect your strategy no matter what it is. But if I look at it and you show me what you look at, and I think it's brilliant, you'll be added to the crypto OG group. I'm not saying, you know, you have to come teach me about this, that, the other to be to the OG group, but just as something I can give as a return. Obviously, you'll be added to it, and as it grows and grows, it'll add more and more value. But I'm yapping. Let's just continue. So, price discovery, obviously, found our general area of, you know, where we're kind of having difficulty. You see, coming into this area, you know, coming to the area, sell, coming to the area, sell, coming to the area, sell. So we have a general area in between, probably about, you know, 85, you know, obviously printing at 84, probably top of it being about 88. We're in a general area there. So that's where our rough resistance may be. We had a bit of hovering here. We probably have some sort of rough order block there. You can see print on the midpoint. Oh, it's not really very good, that. Let me zoom in. There we go. There we go. So you can see print off the midpoint, print off the bottom line. So decent, very small though. So something you can break down very, very easily, but something to bear in mind. And again, you can also see another one here. Print high, print immediately low. So there's going to be something here as well. Let me just draw that properly. We shimmy across. Where are we bouncing off the midpoint? Isn't that just beautiful? Isn't that just absolutely perfect? Where have we bounced off the midpoint? Where's the midpoint? Oh, it is... How many? It's like fractions of nothing off. So you can see good amount of bounce off midpoint, but we could flip through it. And again, if it's following the market, which it could very well be doing, again, if the market, this is going down. Nah, it's in the price discovery. It's finding its ground. So to be fair, let's have a look at the volume there, just see what's going on. What's the spread looking like? Okay, that's good. That lines up. But you can see increased volume. But the candle body isn't really... So you can see, and again, you can see if there's a high wick and a low wick, you can see there's some sort of fight at low ground and high ground. You can see we've wicked up and we've wicked down. But you can see we also wicked upwards into the middle of this volume area. You can see garnered more sell, continuing downwards, probably wicking down towards this area. We probably, you know what we probably did? We probably printed upwards and then came down. And now we're kind of retracting a bit. But regardless, there is high volume, but there's a very small body. So you can see there's something going on, but we printed that already. So I guess it just does really depend on what's going on. But obviously, this is also a good sign when you have increasing, you know, same volume, increasing body. This suggests really good movement downwards as we come along in the price. I'm just having a little look now of different areas. See if there's anything else which is important to look at. This is really good actually here. It's really, really uniform candle movement there. Really nice, really nice here. Good tight, yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm spending quite a lot of time. I will end it at 10:15, so I will go fast. I will go fast. So you can see order block printed. Obviously, it's kind of fun. Order block printed. Wick into it, came down. Wick into it, came down. So, and what is nice to see as well, also another thing to think about, is when you come to these sorts of areas where you have support resistance or where you might bounce off something, is the response of the price coming to these areas. So you can see, came to the area, the response, we just continue to come down, obviously having, you know, finding some sort of support down here, wherever it may be, you know, some sort of gap there. But you can see it came down to obviously finding some sort of support down here. Coming up, again, this is a good sign. Came to the area, and then the response was very, very strong downwards. So this is a good resistance point. This will be a really, really good resistance point. Obviously, this was bad. You can see we printed it. We then just kind of ignored it, and then we just came down. So we just ignored it. But again, we came into this big sell area and then came down. So a good resistance point here as well. Also, this is going to be a good resistance point. And if we break it, it's going to give us a very strong response upwards. So let me have a look where we are right now. We're not really moving. I don't know. Maybe it's my chart is laggy. But we are in a low point. So bearing in mind what's going on in the market, we need to think about what we've done right now. You can see this is significant. This is really, really big amount of buy. You can see produced it. Okay, this is okay. This will be easier to show. Obviously had buy up here. This is blue candle suggesting we have some sort of flip. Flipped it, came to this. Obviously filled some buy, came up. Obviously finding resistance again, coming down. Where do we fill? Filled the rest of this, came to this midpoint, filled this, came up strong. And now, where are we? We're now at the bottom of this candle. So this took us an entire movement. So this was half of it, entire movement. So now we have a half of this left. So what is this telling me? This tells me we might either fill the rest of this and come up, or we could come to this order block, or a bit down here, maybe towards about a 5, at most maybe a wick, and then come up a bit. Again, similar with the market, we're coming down towards our buy areas and then coming up for sell. So as we're coming down, you can see we're slowly starting to print some sell, having, we're speeding up in terms of our movement downwards. You can see we're starting to speed up. You can see not very high volume, and then we're starting to print high volume candles. So now we are coming down more. So we can come down a bit faster, coming towards the area. So I could expect either we filled this buy and now we're going to come up a bit. We either come to this order block or we maximum 5. Again, if Bitcoin's come to 52, it depends. What is Mu's response to the general market is my question. And if we're in this area of price discovery and we're only really just coming back to areas we've seen before, then these are going to... Oh, actually, hold on. I could probably try and see if there's any like order blocks or anything. This could be potentially one here. Let's see. Sometimes, you know what, sometimes these order blocks just don't work. Again, there's no magical drawing or indicator. Oh, there we go. You can see that was our resist. Okay, you can see that was where our support was. So when I was questioning why we were seeing support here, it was previous order block. You can see now it's starting to get messy. That's why I don't like drawing 10 order blocks. It just gets really messy. But you can see we're starting to come down it now. So we're starting to invalidate it and ignore it. And we're coming down. Again, this price action is really slow. Money flow really far down right now. Actually, RSI is doing its thing, whatever. But, we're starting to come towards the oversold scenario of things. And again, ceteris paribus, external factors disregarded and not affecting the market. If we come into this situation, VWAP starts to really come up. Again, VWAP plants the seeds for this high movement. If we start to see some of these data sources start to come up again, we could expect some retracement in price. Again, volume-based, we don't have a lot of sell. We have no sell. So what can I expect? This is what I expect. Either we come back to this sell area, or we possibly exceed it. Again, it depends what Mu does. How long has it been in existence for? Like 9th of April 24. Not too long. I don't know what the market cap is. I'm not gonna lie. Again, we are sponsored by Mu. I want to learn about these colourful candles. I like the idea around them. Yeah, so do I. I mean, so these are a version. So there's a guy called Traders Reality. He's a YouTuber. He's been going for like more than 10 years. I can't remember. And this is his indicator, but this is kind of the ideology of volume. So it's not really something too spectacular. It is more so. So basically, look, you could draw it yourself just based on volume. It goes off the previous 10 candles. You can see. Okay, here. Okay. So look, probably here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you can see these are the past 10 candles. Do you see a difference between these volume? Look, really low. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Really high. So these become volume candles. And again, the green ones and the red ones are 200% increment above the average of the past 10 candles. So those are considerably high than the other ones. Now, some people may say this is like market makers coming into the market. This is the market makers coming in and putting their orders. Okay, I don't really care. All I know is that it works. But these are how they work. But I'm gonna make my own version because I like them, but I don't like the background of how they work. So I'm going to make my own version. They're going to be called the FISI candles. And that's going to be our indicator, to be our volume candles. And it's going to incorporate a bit more. So these just show you the volume over the past 10 candles and a bit more. But there's more things to look at than just that. So he's just looking at the volume and pointing to the candle. He's not looking at the potential buy and sell amount. And he's not looking at the wicks of the candles. The wicks are also very important. The wicks matter a lot. You might have really high volume, but if you look at where the candles come to, these are very interesting. These are very important. So I'm going to make my own version, call them the FISI candles. This is going to be our crypto warehouse indicator. It's going to be a similar process, but it's going to add a bit more value. And yeah, that's going to be our indicator. But anyway, yapping. Also, I'll talk about more in the OG group. If you come after the stream, come back to the OG group. I'll talk. Ask me some questions. I'll talk about them. They're very easy concepts. It's very easy concept. Again, like I said, you don't have to use these. You could just use volume. You could just read volume. And there's people who do that. And back in the day, used to do that. They used to look at the price and look at the volume, and that's all they had to do. So again, I think volume is a very important aspect to look at. But again, this is my version. Hey, everyone has gone on there. Oh well, whatever. They didn't like what I was saying. So this is actually this is his indicator. It's very messy. Again, I'm not doubting this is probably very valuable information. There are some market opening and closing times. There's some daily highs, lows, whatever. But I didn't like all that. I didn't want to use all that. So I made it myself with only the vector candles because I didn't want to yap. I didn't want to have all that yap on my screen. So yeah, I'll show you more. So yeah, like I said, that's what I think. We do something like this. I'm moving on. I need to move on really quick. Jupe, I'm gonna go really fast now. You will never see faster TA than what I'm about to do right now. All right, let's go. Where's the last shot? Where's my... Where? Found it. All right, here we go. Wait, this is like speedrunning. You know, people speedrun, you know, games. They speedrun this, that, the other. We should do some... We should make a little thing where we speedrun charts. That would be good. Okay, what do we do? Have a quick look. Let's minimize everything. All right, let's go. So we did these bottoms. Yeah, cool. We came up. That's good. We had the wick down. Where did we come to? We came to buy area. Very good. This is really, really important. Near the middle of the candle, came down, found buy, came up, sorted. Obviously came up, had this higher lows, but this was a good area. What did I say? Remember what I said last stream? What did I say last stream? Or last time I looked at this? 60 cents in this range. I circled it. This would be good buy. What do we do? Look at that. Brilliant. This was the low. This was the low. And I drew a line on it. This was the low. If you put a buy order at where I said we should come to either 63 or 60, you'd either not be in or you'd be in, to be fair, because you could have put a buy order at 60, but 63 was another line. I drew that line. I said, this is where you buy. You buy. Where are you now in profit? You're 54% profit. But where did we come to? I wonder. Why did we stop? Is my question. Why did we stop? Well, I'm on the 8 hour. I don't know why I'm on the 8 hour. Let's go to daily, actually. Maybe I have some more information. 1 hour. I want to find out where this sell area is. Come on, man. Where's this sell area? I know it's here. Is that sell? There it is. That's a sell area. Oh, is that tight or not? Oh, look at that. Isn't that just a bit tight? How many? We were like fractions of pennies off. Like a quarter, a half % off. We got the top by the sell. That was the last sell area. Again, to be fair though, I would have said we maybe got a bit higher because that was just too insignificant. But that was accurate as hell. Anyway, where are we now? I'm not yapping. Okay, so buy area. What have we done? We've printed. Okay, we have no buy. We came to the buy area. We filled it. We have still more buy area to fill. We filled the that small candle on the 30-minute, and then we come down. So we're now looking for buy area as we come down. We're not just falling. We're waiting for a haystack to catch us. So that's either going to be 90 cents or coming down to about 85 cents. 85 cents is pretty good. If we shimmy this across though, you can see we had an order block, probably a higher time frame, maybe a daily order block. This could be, yeah, really good daily order block. Obviously, we slipped low. It's not very good. It's been invalidated, but you can see we've come down. We're starting to kind of have a bit of support here. Let's go down here. There we go. So we're seeing some support here. Obviously, this is a higher time frame from the 4 hour, so we could have wick downs on the higher time frames, which mean prints on the lower time frames. So I'm not too worried about that. But you can see, concerningly, what's happened. We've slipped below, so resistance, came down, resistance. So now we're starting to resistance. Again, similar in the market, we're coming down. Where can I expect? I could expect to wick towards 90 cents. But as you can see, we do have some support at about 93 cents. So I could expect us to see 93 cents. But as the market's moving and as things are going down, I could expect either 90 cents or this candle. I don't think we go much further. I think that range would be good. Let me delete some of these lines. These are absolutely awful in my way. I don't care about them anymore. That was a great low though. Okay. Okay, so it's now okay. Again, very similar though with the market. Again, this doesn't have the same structure as all the other coins. So Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin. They all had sell areas up here, and we had a buy area down here. We don't have that for Dupe, so it might not follow the same. But buy area here, 90 cents. Could be 90 cents. We could come down to 90 cents. And then we have 85 cents. So 90 cents to 85 cents. Big range, I know. That's a 10% range. I'm sorry. but we just don't know how we're going to respond off this volume. Because you can see, we wicked to that volume on the 30-minute, and we came all the way down. And that was a big response. So, I think, considering it, I don't think this will be our stop. Look at that wick, though. Look at that wick to that order block. Isn't that just amazing? Order block, brilliant. I'd hold on to maybe 85 cent. I think 85 cent could be a good range down here. Let me circle it, and I'm going to move on. I need to. I always do this. You know what? I need a studio, and I just need to sit there and, like, not worry about the time. All right, let me draw this range. Boom. This is the range. This is the range you're in. What's the news for this, actually? You know what? Let's look at the fib retractments. Or the extension, sorry. The amazing tool I've just discovered. Which is amazing. Okay, so I think it's like that. It's not that. Or it's this. No, it's not that either. Oh, I'm struggling. Okay, or is it like this? Is this it? Here it is. Look at that. You got support 82. I don't like this, actually. I don't know. Let's do to the high. And this needs to be this high. And this needs to shimmy across. There we go. Oh, well, we've got one at 90 cent. That's crazy. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put one down then. So you've got 80 cent and then 90 cent. So you've got this one here. We could see some support on 90. Now again, what I could expect to happen. Let me draw it based on this. Resistance. We're coming down. Market's coming down. What's going on? Look at that. Look at that line from the 786. Brilliant. Boom, support. Resistance off order block. Coming down, filling buy. Resistance. Coming down, filling 2 buys, and then coming up. And then we're having higher highs, or lower highs and lower lows. And we're coming down. Moving on. Cass. I'm sorry. I just spent so long. What the hell's going on here? Oh yeah, ignore this. This was the really high time frame. Yeah, this was which just didn't. We found more resistance at here. This is good though. This is good. What do I always say? What do I always say about chart patterns? You have to be careful of what? What was that? Yeah, you're right. Exactly. This is like Dora Explorer. Yes, you're correct. You have to be careful of this. What's it called? It's called like the breakout test or something, or breakout. I can't remember what it's called. But that is it. You have to be careful of the test back at the top trend line. It happens. It happens more often than not. And I see it. Okay, it might not happen in every market, or it might not happen here, there, and everywhere. But look. Okay, let's not do a pen. Let's do an actual normal drawing. Look at that. Let me sharpen this up a bit. I've already drawn that. Never mind. So, what do? Range, break, try to break neckline. Guess what? Fell below. Tested. Off the trend line. Came up, broke, coming up. Again, though, to be fair, I think something is like really negative about Casper, and I can't remember. And we've talked about it twice now, and I really can't remember what was negative about it. But regardless, we're coming up. 26 cent. 26 cent. Here we come. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'd have this order block, which lines up with this buy. We don't have any sell because we're kind of in price discovery. We had sell. We're filling the sell. So what we could have bounce off 19 cent, which is also where we saw this wick. Whoops. Just draw that line there. So we get a horizontal ray. You can see we're printing above this line, which is good. So if I hide this for now. Okay, let me just delete it and remove it. As you see, okay, high. This was our high. Broke it. Obviously, having the buy and sell here. Good order block here, actually. Really nice order block. Okay, let me undo so I can get it back. Nice order block. And again, order blocks don't have to be perfect and don't have to be one-to-one candles. I know some of you guys asked me last time, do they have to be one-to-one perfect? No. What has to happen is you have to have an equal high body and an equal sell body. There can be a candle in the middle. But look, even I'm on the 8 hour. What am I on the 8 hour for? Ah, what the hell? Oh, that's really ruined my mood now. I don't like the 8 hour. I don't know, the 8 hour. I'm a bit like what's the word for it? What's this word? Like, I'm particular about the time. I like the 1 hour, I like the 4 hour, I like the daily, 30 minute, 50 minute. And that's what I do. If I go to the 8 hour, it just feels dirty. if I look at it. Anyway, you can see though. Oh crap! Let me lock this in place because it's getting on my nerves. There we go. So, oh, man, this is really annoying. This is like peering in my face. So all block, boom, support, bang, coming up. Previous high. You can see filling buys. We filled all this buy. Where did we come to? Where did we come to? Yeah, that's right. Look, we filled all the candle. All the candle. We filled it all. Look, filled this one. Filled this one. You know, cascading on the way down. Work down. Fill this. And as we filled it, what happened? Came all the way back up. Where are we now? We're on the line. On the line. So, what's going to happen? Support, bang. 26 cent. 26.5 cent. Here we come. Casper. Are we in price discovery, right? Yeah, we're in price discovery. So, there's not really much craziness I can talk about here. Unless we have like some sort of trend on. We have this trend here. You can see on the boom, 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 free highs. But not really much in terms of much to say. You can see filling this buy as we speak, but again, we're already filling it. We could print at maybe 19.5% on the daily, but we're filling it anyway. We've already pretty much filled this green. I don't think we have to come to it. Guess what? Guess where the midpoint of this green is? This line we already talked about. So we could come back to fill this. We could have a little bit of a cheeky bang bang as we come up, breaking out of this. You can see we have this high trend line here. We need to break out of this. So we could fill this buy, fill this next buy, coming down to maybe 18.5 cent, coming up, filling this sell in the process. Hopefully, again, this is all hopeful now because we're kind of in price discovery. It's hard to tell. But what we can do is use our magical tool we've just figured out to figure... wait, how do I use it again? I forgot. How do I use it? I always... Hold on. There we go. There it is. Okay. Let me do it properly. So our low to the high to the low. This is actually good. Look. Resistance there. Resistance there. Resistance on... Oh, no. There's no line there. One line. Okay. Yeah. It's not... It's alright. It's not very good, is it? Wait, it has come from bottom to the top to the bottom, right? Ah, whatever, man. This tool's trash. I don't know. Whatever. Don't matter. I think we go up. Whatever. Don't matter. Yeah. Breaking news. New chance sponsor. Yeah. I've given it away. I would give it away a tiny bit, but yes, we do have a new chance sponsor. Again, it's hard. We're in price discovery. You know what? I haven't looked at the OI and CVD. When I have my indicator for that, I will I'll use it more. It's a big, like if I go to it, if I save this, if I go to I think it's this one. It's just a bit messy. Where's the OI? Oh, why are we in spot for? Or if you do cast USD.P, this, it might bring us to liquidations because we're exceeding right now. We could be seeing high order. Why are we lagging? We could see high open interest in CAS right now. So what we could expect is potential liquidations on the opposite side of things. And if we're all longing, we could expect some shorts, or we could expect some movement downwards in CAS price because of how much OI we have. I need to look at the CVD though. If we're really coming up, we could come down to 18.5, like I said, liquidate some people, come up again. But we're lagging for some reason. Refresh the page. I have the same drink I had last time, but I don't have the fancy King cup. Why are we lagging? There we go. Why are these drawn? Oh, I don't want that drawn there. Get out of here. Yeah, making it. That's the indicator. It's making it. Okay, so yeah, we can see it right here. So this is the hour. This is the hour. Interesting. So you can see. High movement, move down. High movement. We haven't had our move down yet, or we're moving down a bit. You can see really considerably high amounts of things. And okay, this is really perfect. So this is a good education on open interest and cumulative volume delta. So you can see every time, it's very small, I'm sorry, every time we have red, which means there are, overall, we have less contracts open than we had previously. So, if you see the volume, and you can see the red volume is higher volume. You can see every time we have red on the open interest or contracts are closing, we're going down, and we have negative volume, which means we're overall selling. But you can see every time we have green here and here, we have positive cumulative volume delta, and you can see all the way here. Okay, majoritively how high we're going. You can see we have, but over this period of us going up, we have entirely positive cumulative volume delta, which suggests to me we have a significant amount of longs coming in. We can see here, big wick down, huge amount of liquidations, but we haven't had a lot of movement downwards on the open interest. So, what it suggests to me is that we could be at a possible turning point for cash right now, and we should come down to liquidate. Now, where were all these trades opening? Now, I could actually probably, potentially, preview the using of this. Now, this is alpha, like 1 point, or like infinite, right? So, if the high amount of longs are happening about here, we could potentially see where okay, let me, this is high leverage, so boom, boom, there we go. So, these are all the potential, these are where the liquidation points will be for each leverage. So if we zoom in, you can see 100x would be back here. So we could come, and what did I just say? What did I just say? I said 18.5 is where I think we could come to on our low. 50x liquidation, 18.6. The 25 to 18.2. So we could see about this range, about 18.5 towards here. I think we could come down to here before we go up. And bear in mind, that's nothing to worry about. On the daily or the 4 hour, that is support. So I think we come down to support, liquidate, boink, come up. So yeah, that's a little bit of a preview on OICVD, and I'm going to be making an indicator which automatically predicts the moving average of the open interest, and it automatically draws these liquidation potentials for you, and it reads the CVD and tells what's the general trend. Are we positive or negative? So if we have, basically the indicator will read if we have majoritively open interest is coming up quite a lot, and the CVD is majoritively green, it means we should probably be looking for shorts, or looking for liquidations on the shorts, or short longs. Oh, sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Yeah, okay, that's Casper though. We've got Brett and Ty. Okay. Wait. Now Brett didn't do what I said it would do. I think. I can't remember. What did I say it was going to do? I said it was going to come up, didn't I? Well, we did it. We didn't... Okay, we didn't do it, but we did it. So you can see. Obviously, maybe if we had a 5 minute, it'll probably show a bit better. Okay, so. We didn't have a double bottom, which is fine. I'm trying to predict something which hasn't printed yet. But, sell area. We came to the sell area. We found sell. We then dumped from the sell area, producing more sell. Now again, think about what the market's been doing. We produced more sell. So we came to the area, found resistance at where the sell was, and then we came down. Normal so far. Again, finding support at this area. Guess what this was? Buy area. So what did I say for Brit? I can't remember. I think it's that we were going to come up to this sell area and then come back down. I think it was. Or did I say we're going to break this? I think I said we would come to the sell area. Okay. I don't care what I said, because this is what we had. So, we had all this set, all this buy, filled it all. Look how accurate that is. What's nice to see is with these candles, you normally fill the entire candle. You can occasionally fill the middle, but whenever you fill the middle, really fast after it prints, you normally come back to fill the rest of it. But when you leave all these and you have really consecutive amount of buy, you normally come back. Again, this is all consecutive at the back end of things. But hindsight is like the best. Whatever, who cares? But you can see how brilliant it is. We filled the candle exactly. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, well maybe we didn't. Maybe we filled a tiny bit more. Look, if I shimmy it up, yeah, maybe we filled a bit more. Okay, sorry. All right, damn. Don't get angry at me. But yeah, you see, boom, all this buy. Filled it all. We had this outstanding. So what did we do? Came to sell, found enough sell, came down, boom. Now, I know, you might be thinking, okay, cool, well, this is just how the market moves. You're just mapping how the market moves for this. Well, these are significant areas. What we're doing right now, a huge sell. We're filling these. Also, what's lovely? Huge sell where there's all right. What could we expect? I mean, unless we fill this and come down, we could possibly see maybe 11. And I will agree with you. No, don't close the stream. Okay, I'll just really quickly. I will agree with you with the 10 cents. Buy area down here about 10 cents. I will agree at 10 cents. Don't close the stream. I'm nearly done. Okay, what are we doing? Resistance, order block. Very good. It's got the 1 hour actually. Okay, cool. So, really, really, really good. You see that? We had leftover sell. And we filled it. Look, if I draw this across. Look. Look at that. We filled it. Obviously, I know it's the midpoint of the order block. We filled the sell. Obviously, now we're starting to come down. Where we come down, it wasn't enough. I don't think that was too strong. So we probably might see this midpoint of support. I don't think we see this just yet. But if the market's going down, I mean, again, TAS is something different though, to be fair, because this is moving. This isn't necessarily moving how the market moves. So we could see support there. Let's go to the higher time frames, just see what's going on. We can see though, like, obviously we filled sell on the lower time frames. But what are we doing? Okay, really good order block here, by the way. Really brilliant. So what are we doing? Okay, so what it looks like we're doing on higher time frames anyway. Obviously, produce support. We came up. What it looks like we might be doing is coming down to fill. So what can I expect? I expect us to slip below the midline, probably coming towards 12.5, maybe like 12, the start of this order block, where the rest of these were, and having some buys. So basically, where all this resistance was, I think we come down, fill the buy, basically where this is, and then come up a bit more, maybe back towards 15 cent. But I don't know. There's not really much, considerable sell. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Daily, let's have a quick look, see what's going on. Printing this buy, that's good. I mean, yeah, again, 4 hours, there's a lot of 4 hours in a day. We have enough time to move down and move up on this. So if we have this printed, within this range, maybe towards 15 cent, we probably come down again towards 13 cent and then come up again. But we do have this trend line. You can see resistance. So even if we exceed 15 cent, it'll only be towards 16 cent. All right, I'm so sorry I've spent so long. I always do this. I need to stop. All right, let me read the chat before I end the stream. I'll read everything. Okay, let's see what's going on. Oh, I've just reset the bounce chat. Sorry, I'm not reading the bounce chat. The whole thing just got reset. All right, let me read the chat. Okay, I need to find where I haven't read from. Yeah, new channel sponsor mute. Yep. Not every day you get sponsored by a $5 million project. That's true. Got sponsored. That's brilliant. Yeah, you need to get sponsored. I'm sorry. I know. I believe this is just the beginning. I can envision warehouse as well, not name in the future. I appreciate that. Thank you, man. I hope so. I mean, hey, if we just keep going, eventually, again, a lot of things. It's like you think, oh, these guys got lucky, or oh, these guys just have this like innate thing. A lot of the time, it's like if you just spend enough time with it, you get there. Like if you just have to spend enough time on it. I'm yapping. Soji Nakamoto Facebook and meet up on the channel soon. That's very true. We've actually been in contact with him not too long ago, so hopefully that should happen soon. Very, very soon, hopefully. And yes, he is alive. We have spoken to him. Yes, I'm ending the stream, don't worry. Then my bro cook. Yeah, man, this is good TA, man. This is got his back. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You shot the dog? Nah, I'm ending the stream for that, man. That's ridiculous. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a long stream. I'm sorry. Again, there's a lot of coins I've got to cover. There's got a lot of things I want to talk about. Problem is, the more I include in me talking about the charts, the more I want to talk about. Which means the more time I spend talking, which means the later I get. So it is a big ask for you guys to stay till the end of the streams. So for the fact that you guys are here, I really do appreciate it. It does really mean a lot to me. So thank you so much for being here. Hopefully the TA goes well. Again, the market's been pretty crazy right now. But I do envision this sort of fill this buy area about 60k towards 60, wherever we are right now. What are we doing? We're at 63.7 right now. So we are coming up. Again, if you followed the structure, power free. That's all I'll say. If you've looked at my screenshots in OG, you will know what's going on. You will know that we've come down to this area. We've come down to the mitigation block area. We're going up to the liquidity void. Now we're going to come back down. That's what's going to happen. That is what's going to happen. Go to the OG area and scroll up and you'll find what I said. Look at the volume candles. It says the exact same thing. Look at the weekly bull flag. It says the exact same thing. It all says the exact same thing. So if it doesn't happen, I should just retire tomorrow. If it doesn't happen, I'll retire. I'm not saying that. No, I'm not going to retire. But you know what I mean. There's a lot of confidence there. But anyway, thank you so much. Got any questions? Come to Telegram. Come ask me. If you're in the OG, I know you just asked about the volume candles. I think was it Drop there? Did you ask? I think you asked. Was he? Okay. Whoever asked about the volume candles, just ask questions. Whatever you want to know. I can post some screenshots. I'll talk. Whatever you want, I'll come help. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. And for K6, I think the start your name is. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, do the charts. If you don't want to do the charts, it doesn't matter. I do appreciate it though. But again, you know, if I think it's something I would want to use, you will be an OG. Obviously, $2.99 a month. Yeah, come join it. But yeah, I appreciate you coming along. I appreciate you being someone who wants to come be educational, or someone wants to come help. I really appreciate that. And as someone who has, you know, again, all these people within crypto and all these people doing live streams, it's like they've got years and years of experience. I think Crypto Lifer has like 17 years. He's been training for 17 years. Frank Howell's done like 3 or 4 years. I've only been doing it for like a year and a bit. But again, it's diminishing returns. It's 80-20, whatever you want to call it. You can get a lot done in a small amount of time than you think. You can get a little done in a longer period of time, whatever it is. And again, if you think my TA is trash, you know, either you never watch me or you want to come help, which I do appreciate. So yeah, come along. I appreciate it. Thank you. End the stream. Goodbye.